Okay, wanted to go over one of the books on the shelf from that cabin in the woods. A man, Dave from Vermont, has mentioned something about, of course, paranormal, which I did not mention, and I should have thought of that. Thanks, Dave. But due to the fact of the Jimmy Walker incident, where he had went to a gas station trying to get gas but did not get the gas because the person told him that there was a gas station further down the street, maybe because they didn't have gas, because it was a ghost station. And I had two articles I think I should have went over. I thought I went over, I don't know, I gotta check again, but I will. And if I hadn't checked them and looked them up, or even went over them, there was a couple people that were on the Mass Vermont line. I think I might have did that one. And came across the town in the middle of the night. And they too fell asleep in a car, I believe they said, and they woke up the next morning, the whole town was gone. So this pretty much could have been something in that scenario. It's like I said, it was mentioned by my man Dave. But not only could we go with that thought and theory, because like I said, Jimmy Walker, JJ from Good Times, Dynamite, saw some ghost village store, like I said. But also we have a book that was hanging on the shelf. I went over a couple of them. I looked up so far, and the other one was a man that turned anarchy, and I think he said that he covered the Watts riots in California in the 1960s. And was into all that kind of stuff of racism and stuff. This, on the other hand, of this Joyce Carol Oates, which I don't know the damn name of the book, because it's the light had fuzzed out the name of it. But if I can figure it out and see which it is, and I'm wondering if the book, and of course both these people on the shelf are both American authors. And this one, like I said, if it ain't the thought and theory of paranormal of disappearing, caught my attention to this one is bear with me a moment. And there was one thing I said in my thoughts and theories, that this person in the cabin could have been a serial killer, using the cabin maybe not just for torturing, but maybe just to disappear. So if someone did witness him, the guy has a better chance of hiding out in the woods, that serial killer, and taking a few days off, changing his appearance or whatnot, and just winding back up in the public eye out of nowhere, just like a ghost. But it really caught my attention, and keep that very well into your mind. Lincoln's father had killed himself. What a way to go. Here it is. First novel with Shedding Fall. Short story dedicated to Bob Dylan. She did a short story dedicated to Bob Dylan. And written after listening to his song. It's all over now, Blue Baby. The story is loosely based on a serial killer. So Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been? A short story dedicated to Bob Dylan. I didn't read all this. I just saw the serial killer, like I pronounced. And Bob Dylan, and written after listening to a song, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. The story is loosely based on the serial killer Charles Schmidt, also known as the Pied Piper of Tucson. I believe that's Tucson, Arizona. It has been anthologized many times, if adapted as a film, Smooth Talk, starring Laura Dern, 1985. So, a short story dedicated to Bob Dylan and written after listening to his song of a serial killer. So this guy's got a wide range of racist serial killing taste of the person living in the cabin. Off Ice, The Atlantic, Monthly, August 1960, features a young gifted Jewish American student who demonstrates his drift into the protest against the world of education and the sober established society of his parents, his depression. Oh wow, another one gonna go protest. Eventually murder comes suicide. It was inspired by a real life incident, as with several of her works, and the Oates has been acquainted with the model of her portraitness. She's revisited this subject in the title story of her collection, Last Days, Stories, 1984. In the Region of Ice, won the first of her 2 O. Henry Awards. So, wow. Now, see what I mean? Serial killers, huh? And what better book to learn good tricks or even get into this and sit into a cabin and get lost into a fantasy world of all kinds of crazy stuff. Especially that one that writes. And let me see, it is set Detroit during the time span National Book Award for Fiction. So this is Garden of Earthly Delights, 1967. It's called Wonderland Quartet. It's in a Detroit during the time span from 1930 to 1960, most of the black ghetto neighborhood, and deals openly with crime, drugs, and racial class. Wow. So these two authors, as I will show you here now, both, and Kanab is another one that he had on the shelf. An American writer, translator, radical theorist, known for his translations of this guy went to reading books and written in French, and he had to learn French to read them. But he was born in Louisiana, raised in Missouri, attended Schmeimer, moved to Berkeley, California, where he took part in the controversial and radical adventures of the 60s, 69, having become disillusioned with increasingly authoritarian tendencies in the New Life movement. He became an anarchist. Later that same year, discovered some pamphlets by the Situationist International and was so struck by them that he began style similar. Over the next few years, he taught himself French in order to read the original Situationist writings, most of which are available in English. So, I mean, yeah, just reading this and going over this is going into the black history of racist and situationist, or whatever that is. Large collection of articles drawn mostly from French So, I mean, these two people, authors pretty much had something in common. Well, the other one had written about serial killers, and I didn't even see nothing to see. I'm just gonna go quickly through this to see if he has anything. He's got something of the Gulf, Iranian Revolution, the Gulf War. He was more into the, of course, as you can see, pretty much the movement between the two countries, of course, East and West, or continents, or however you want to put it. But still, he had that same how can I say it, the same intuition on what they do together, these two authors. So whoever this person that had these books in their little library, like I say, and meaning right here. And then you have, of course, Catch Me If You Can, famous Leonardo DiCaprio movie, printing counterfeit money in that movie. Loved that movie. I would have loved to have been him, printing out fake checks. But this is what gets me with the Joyce Carol Oates, is I cannot figure out the name of this Forari, Forii, I don't know. Can't even read that, but I want to know. It didn't say that in the listing. I'll have to go through it more, but I just wanted to really go through this, quickly, because still got a lot. And this one is, Homestead. A woman homesteader? I don't know where this person was getting at with all this, but then you got on card games. I think that's just a card. Trees West. Yeah, learning about card games. Who knows if he was a poker player? That's just a dictionary. I would, like I said, would have loved to know what all this papers was, but other than that, the public secret, going through this guy's stuff, coming up with all the, the government and stuff in that back in the 60s, and Watts riots, the Watts riots and everything he wrote about or something. So, I mean, very interesting to see, but to see this woman in there and writing about serial killers, boom, what was this guy really doing? But then again, like I say, like my man Dave said too, you can't put a pass on the paranormal. You've been there, you're looking around at something and it really ain't there. That's right. There's always something that can lead to something insane. But I just wanted to show them two books. And now I gotta go back and want to check out that serial killer. So see if this man will probably get any ideas. Other than that, that's going to be in my next video. Until that next video, be safe, take care, and beware. Because once again, look what we're looking at. Look what we're trying to find out there.
Why is this working?
Who knows what's out there lurking in the woods. Out.